Fujian Province endured severe weather conditions this week as Typhoon Yangliu, internationally known as Podul, made its second landfall in Zhangpu County after crossing Taiwan. Although downgraded to a strong tropical storm upon landfall, Yangliu retained the capacity to inflict extensive damage through sustained winds, intense rainfall, and storm surges along the southeastern coastline. The Fujian Meteorological Bureau reported that torrential rains fell across coastal and inland areas with accumulations exceeding 150 millimeters within 24 hours in Zhangzhou, Xiamen, and Quanzhou. Some localized stations recorded rainfall totals approaching 200 millimeters. These heavy downpours inundated streets in low-lying urban neighborhoods, forcing the closure of underpasses, road tunnels, and sections of provincial highways. In Zhangzhou's urban district, floodwaters reached curb height in residential streets, prompting emergency pumping operations by municipal drainage teams. Rivers in the province experienced a sharp rise in water levels. Hydrological monitoring stations issued secondary flood warnings, alerting communities along the banks to prepare for possible overflow. Officials also warned of the heightened risk of landslides and mudflows in mountainous districts, particularly in southern and western Fujian, where soils were already saturated from earlier seasonal rains. Yangliu's arrival brought gusts exceeding 110 kilometers per hour in exposed coastal zones. The winds tore branches from trees, toppled roadside billboards, and peeled away sections of roofing from older structures. Maritime terminals in Xiamen and Quanzhou were temporarily closed as a precaution against storm surges and rough seas, while more than 800 fishing boats sought shelter in harbors before the storm arrived. Several districts reported power outages after high winds damaged transmission lines. Emergency repair crews worked in challenging conditions to restore electricity, with priority given to hospitals, emergency shelters, and water treatment facilities. In anticipation of Yangliu's landfall, Fujian authorities activated Level 2 emergency response protocols. Schools were closed for safety and public events were postponed. The Provincial Transportation Department suspended ferry services across the Taiwan Strait and restricted high-speed rail operations in certain sections due to safety concerns. Port operations were also halted temporarily, impacting cargo shipments through Xiamen Port.
带你们第一视角感受一下台风洋流的威胁力哈！我操，现在还是小 case， 你看，哇塞，鸟全部飞出去了，哇塞，牛逼呀
！While Fujian absorbed the storm's main force, eastern Guangdong experienced heavy rain and gusty winds from Yangliu's outer circulation. Cities such as Shantao and Chaozhou reported localized street flooding, but the scale of impact remained considerably lower than in Fujian. By Thursday evening, the worst of the storm had moved inland, but officials cautioned that residual rainfall and unstable weather patterns would persist for several days. Provincial leaders stressed the need for continued vigilance, noting that post-typhoon conditions could still produce flash floods and landslide. Disaster assessment teams are surveying affected areas to evaluate infrastructure damage, agricultural losses, and the overall economic impact. The passage of Typhoon Yangliu through Fujian once again highlights the province's exposure to tropical cyclone events and the importance of early warning systems, proactive evacuation measures, and interagency coordination in minimizing casualties and property losses.